Welcome back. We have a package here. Let's take a look at what we got. I recognize the sender, so I think I have a feeling I may know at least how it's built. I don't know what to expect exactly, but let's see what we got here. Okay, the rest of this looks like just an empty bag. And let's take this off screen. Merry Christmas. These are the first with jimping, and really like how they turned out. Enjoy from Brant at Magnafold. Sweet. Let's see what we got here. First with jimping, huh? Now he's making these knives out of wood, so the way you would do things like jimping would definitely play different in wood or micarta. Yeah, got one wood and one micarta here if I'm seeing this right. Ooh, shams, sweet. Go wood first, my favorite. Oh man, that's a sweet one. That looks like a figured maple and maybe like a wange, or can't remember what that is. And then this one is micarta, and this thing is very sharp. And by sharp I mean dull, but cool looking. Holy smokes, the detent on that thing is crazy strong. He's got these new stronger magnets, and maybe it was just that I had my finger over it. That'll probably do it. That's probably what it was. But this micarta is very nice looking, kind of marbled. So that's a nice, like, solid feel to it for sure. Thank you so much. Very generous to send these. He's got these grinds going on these now, so they got like a little bit of an edge on them, which is fun. So let's put these out and let's compare them to some other wee Shamwaris, slightly more expensive. So that is a 3-inch. So these are basically, it looks like the 2.75-inch version. And then let's also compare them to some of his other models. I got a drawer full here of all sorts of fun models. So if you're following what Brent's doing, there's a Rosie. This is his flagship, which is really my favorite still. It just works so well. Clearly designed for the model, for the concept of what he does. So size-wise, these are quite a bit smaller. You can see them getting sucked into each other due to the magnets there. Another nice one, same version of the flagship, but with a thumb stud there. Here we have, honestly rivaling for my favorite, another flagship, but with a circle for the thumb hole. And then here's my other micarta version, which I think was one of his first that he had done in micarta. Pretty cool, full-size kind of model here, even if I'm not terribly good at using it. So Rosie, got a reverse flick of Rosie. Doesn't sell these, unfortunately, because they weren't approved by Oz Machine Company, but yeah, this is pretty neat. So you can see it's a very close likeness. He's gone a little pointier here on the blade, and of course we're going to use like a false pocket clip here, but love how it matches the blade. That's a really nice touch, and the back spacer matching the blade there. All right, you did a number on this one, Brant. I like it. I like it a lot. Let's see if we did that on this one as well with the micarta. Yeah, it all matches. All the hardware and blade match. That's a nice little touch there. And I like the jimping. It feels really good, especially on the wood, because the wood's a little softer. So having that jimping instead of being too smooth, it really gives you some nice purchase. So let's get these out of here so that the camera's not all zooming in on them. One more reminder of what the real thing is like, and then I'm going to jump back in and just tinker with this a little bit. Now it'd be kind of cool if you could potentially reverse flick off the fuller or something like that, but it's a little high up on this model. It's not Brant, it's more the model itself. The opening isn't far enough down to really get the leverage. But one of the things that you learn if you spend some time with Shamwaris is there are a lot of ways to actually deploy them. They seem, oh, it's front flipper only, but you can actually, use a lot of different fingers. You can even, hold them upside down and stuff. I'm not the best at it, but I've watched a lot of videos on the Shamwari group of how people modulate their shams, and there's a lot of pride in being able to do them with every finger and every direction and all sorts of stuff. So although it seems like maybe it's a front flipper only and people are like, oh, you need to put a thumb stud on it, give it more deployment models, there are quite a few ways to deploy a sham, and they are just the best, and you can even see it here on this model at front flipping. I mean, it's just really easy. The location, for whatever reason, is fantastic. Now, one of the other things I just noticed, which you may have caught earlier in the video, is all my others have through pins. And one of the things he told me was that if he does these hardware-less versions, they're more likely to stay really, I'm trying to think of the right term. Like there's possibility of these kind of like slipping on the hardware and stuff because it could slip through the end here. It's just glued in. So this way you kind of keep the hardware a little more rigid. So these should last even longer on these hardware-less versions. Really impressed with this little one. This one's very cool. I'm going to be putting this one in my hands, my son's hands, and see what he thinks, because front flipping is not the easiest, clearly, but if he's able to do this, then it'll really speak a lot to both the Brandt's work as well as the original Shamwari design in terms of how easy it makes front flipping. I can hardly put that one down. As you can see, I've been kind of leaving this one alone. This one is a little harder to get to. You can see it's actually a little more like the original Sham, but this one's a little easier on the front flip. There's a little more tab on it, which I prefer. So feedback for you there, Brandt. I think this one I'm missing just because it's just pretty minimal that's sticking out there. Granted, I think that is a lot like a normal Sham, but a normal Sham has metal and it gets a pretty nice bit of grip because of that. It looks like the normal Sham is just a slightly different shape too, but I think it's more the metal gets that purchase on the finger, whereas this one gets a little slippery. So if you're going for these, I'd recommend the wood one, or maybe just take a look at the size of the flipper tab, but that could maybe determine which one you pick. So yeah, more nice work here from Brandt over at Magnafold. I've been trying to remind myself in these videos not to just flip the knives the whole time, but to give you a little time to look at it. So sorry for that, because I just did 7 minutes of flipping. Let's go ahead and take a slower, quieter look here at the work he's done. It's quite remarkable. This is a really nice item that he's put together here. Like, he's just done a good job of making this quality. So I'm impressed. This is definitely one of the nicest I've gotten from him in terms of fit and finish. So his work continues to improve. These make great gifts. Obviously, we just went through the holidays, so maybe this video is a little late for you, but birthdays are coming up, I'm sure, and definitely worth a look for any knife nut that's looking to get someone else addicted to the hobby. But they're also just fun. You can fidget with them. You can take these on airplanes. I've tested that 2 or 3 times myself. So it's kind of cool to have these, you know, something in lieu of your typical metal knife when you need to. That's all for now. Thanks again, man. Really appreciate the holiday gift here. And for those of you that are interested, feel free to comment. Please feel free to like, subscribe if you like this content, and I will see you on the next one. Take care.